welcome to my live stream. I'm Jennifer Lee Warner from Experience Wildlife, and today I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about some of the product offerings that we have from Experience Wildlife, some photo tours and workshops that we have available. So thanks for joining us. I hope you're enjoying the San Diego Bird Festival. It's one of my very favorite events of the year, and I am lucky enough to be a field trip leader doing 2 different workshops this year in the San Diego area, focusing on bird photography. So welcome to the live stream, and I'm going to walk through some of the things I have to offer. So I'm going to screen share here, and first we're going to dive into what is available on my website. So this is Experience Wildlife's website, and I have lots of different product offerings, including fine art photography, some other products like face masks, things like that as well, and then workshops and photo tours. And I'm going to dive into each of those that are available during this live session. So first off, we're going to talk about fine art photography. So if you are on the booth central and you can see, you can just click right onto my website. This is what you're going to get. And up here in the art store is where you're going to find all of the different photography that's available. Now I do have a moving sale, and these are items that are already framed, ready to go and at a discount, but you can find lots of different photography that you can order. They come in different sizes, different finishings like metal on the aluminum prints, as well as framed or on canvas as well. And as you click through, these are the newest releases. You will see that the different pictures are available here. We'll click here. Since this is a bird festival, I'll show you a bird picture. This is a burrowing owl taken in Southern California. And it'll tell you the name of the image, the number, as well as the species and the location. And then just down here on the bottom right is a buy button. And when you click through the buy button, it's going to give you lots of different offerings. So different sizes, different ways of ordering it. So if you wanted to order, say, the a 14 by 20 on the metal, it was in metallic, and you just add one. Now, because we are a vendor at the San Diego Bird Festival, you are going to receive a discount. So in the coupon code, when you go to order, after you add to cart and you go to checkout, it's going to offer you an opportunity to put in a coupon code right here. The coupon code is SD Birds 21. And when you submit, it's going to give you a 30% discount. That's on anything you order during this festival. So make sure you take advantage of that. So as you click through the other art, you're going to see different types of pictures. Those were the new releases. There's also releases from 2019, as well as award winners and collector favorites. These are images that have been pre-selected as images that my buyers are really interested. They're all limited editions, so there's only a limited amount of each, usually about 100, and that includes them in all sizes and materials. So again, you just click on it, learn about where the animal came from, what it is, the species, and then you can always add to cart if you're ready. So you can see lots of different species from lots of different places. All my images were taken out in the wild. They're wild species. They're never baited. They're never lured. I am very interested in making sure all my photographs are taken ethically. I'm also the ethics committee chair for the North American Nature Photographers Association. So I want to make sure that everyone is always treating our wildlife with respect. We're not doing anything that's going to harm them or put them in any danger whatsoever. So you're going to see as you browse through these different places like Alaska, different species like birds. Being a bird festival, this might be the category that most interests you, and you're going to see animals from all over the world. So from North America to Galapagos penguins, those are in South America, the lilac-breasted roller from Africa, or Indian birds as well. So I try to photograph as many species from different places to offer lots of different variety for your home or office as gifts. Mother's Day is always a popular one. And I have lots of mom and baby types of photographs as well. So lots to browse through. And I think you're going to find something you're really going to enjoy on my website here. Now, if you are interested in purchasing something other than a photograph, you're going to go to the product shop here at the top. And there's a couple different categories. So face masks is my most popular item right now. And it's going to guide you to this page here, and you can select different face masks. So there's lots of different ones. You can see this hummingbird face mask, and they can come in either flat or pleated, also in large or youth sizes. So lots of different opportunities to get some fun items. Now, I also have on there different types of gifts, like, so you're going to go back to the gifts spot, and you can get things like, say, for example, this cheetah can come in pillows like this, or you can get it in t-shirts, mugs, phone cases, bags, puzzles. Puzzles are always a fun one. So these are fun gifts, especially when you're looking for a loved one to give them something special. All right, so you got the products. You can also do designer gifts. These are different types of particularly clothing items that you can order as well. So now that we've dived into that, I'm going to redirect back to the website and show you some of the photo tours and workshops that I have coming up that I'm sure you're excited to join and start traveling again. If you've been stuck at home in the last year and you're ready to get out and see the world, I've got lots of fun tours coming up. So if you're back on my website, it's just the second tab, workshops and photo tours. The first one is this festival. Like I said, I'm leading 2 different tours during this festival. Both tours are sold out. So hopefully you got your spot in time. But the next tour that I have coming up is in Africa. It's going to give you on my website just a little synopsis of the tour, but I'm going to guide you all the way to the website to really dive deep into what this workshop, this photo tour looks like. So we are going to Africa. Just to ease any minds, Africa is open right now. You do have to have a negative COVID test to enter, and then you'll have to get a negative COVID test to go home, but we will set you up with that testing, so there is no worries. Everyone is very safe there, wearing masks and social distancing, so we will make sure that this tour is nice and safe. Now the tour is happening on June 19th through the July 3rd. We did have a space open up, so there's very limited spacing. I always keep my tours to very small groups to make sure that you're getting all the attention that you deserve. And I did have somebody who, for medical reasons, had to drop out. So we do have a space open on the tour. And so, but you got to book as soon as possible, so we make sure that we get everybody their spots. So we are going to Namibia, and the tour, just to give you a little idea of what we're looking at. Namibia is packed with photographic potential. The oldest desert in the world, the Namib, dominates the country's landscape. We're going to take time to capture images of surrounding safari areas with exquisite flora, towering red dunes, bush country, and fascinating geological formations. Game drives in Etosha National Park, including the Big Five, that's elephants, rhinos, buffaloes, lions, and leopards, as well as giraffes, zebras, wildebeest, antelopes, and much more. Plus, learn about the conservation of cheetahs when we visit the Cheetah Conservation Fund and about the Namibia's cultural history. So we are visiting the Cheetah Conservation Fund. This is an organization that I've spent a lot of time working with. They are the leading conservation organization in keeping cheetahs wild. And you're going to get to meet some of the ambassador cheetahs that have been rescued and that are unable to be released back into the wild. We're also going to visit a national park that is where they do release the cheetahs that can be released, and you'll get to meet some of those cheetahs as well. So very excited about this trip. So it is photographic focused, but you don't have to be a photographer to join the trip. If you just want to enjoy African wildlife and meet some really interesting people and culture, this is a great trip for you as well. So you're welcome to browse through this site from my website and spend some more time really diving deep. Just to give you some basic information, the land cost is $8,895 per person. This does not include the flight to Africa, but it includes everything else. And we can help set you up with someone to book that flight for you. So we make everything super easy. So a couple things to look forward to: up close wildlife encounters, all ethically done from a vehicle. We don't get on foot with the wildlife in the wild. We have expert guides to help you with planning and setting up all your flight arrangements as well. So other things that are on here, so just give you an idea of what we're doing. So we will depart on June 19th, and we will arrive in the nation's capital of Windhoek. It's a really nice city. I've been there. It's very clean, very friendly. They do speak English, so ease of mind there. And then we're going to go over to, I can never pronounce this, but it's this area that has the sand dunes. So we're gonna head over there, and then we're going to be touring around where they have this massive coastal area with this huge amounts of shorebirds, about 150,000 birds representing this coastal area, as well as the very famous sea lion population that live there as well. We are going to visit Etosha. Etosha is a must visit anytime you're in Namibia. It has the most wildlife that you're going to see, including those big animals like elephants, zebras, and giraffes, and lions, and leopards. Going to spend a few nights in Etosha before heading over to Ochirongo, which is where the Cheetah Conservation Fund is. We're going to spend a couple nights there, touring around their little Serengeti, which is their little wildlife refuge there, and visiting some of the ambassador cheetahs. We're going to end the trip in Irandi Reserve, which is where they do release the cheetahs from the Cheetah Conservation Fund so that they can be free. And then we're going to end our tour in Windhoek again, where you're going to fly out on July 3rd. And we will set you up with that test so that you can get home safely. You're also on this site going to just see kind of what's included, as well as some travel info, including what kind of immunizations we recommend, including malaria and just some of the other recommended things that you should get before going, like hepatitis and typhoid are usually recommended for African countries. There's also resources on here, such as suggested packing lists and anything that you might need for the trip. All right, so that is my Africa trip, and I'm really, really excited for this trip. It was supposed to happen last year. Of course, everybody's trips got canceled, so I'm really excited we were able to move this trip to 2021, and I hope that you'll join us. So if you have questions about that trip, feel free to reach out, and I can answer any questions that you have. All right, so the next trip, if you are intimidated about going all the way to Africa or just want something that is a little more close to home, I have a trip coming up in July to Alaska. This is going to be a fantastic tour as well. We're partnering with marine biologist Alicia Emerson, and we are headed off to the remote wilderness of Alaska, particularly to photograph bears, whales, and shorebirds. So you're going to see this, just a quick synopsis on my website, but click here to learn more. and it's going to guide you to this tour. So both of these, the Namibia and this Alaska tour is partnered with Holbrook Travel. They've been around for many, many years, and they are experts at planning everything, and I love working with them. So Alaska with Alicia Emerson and I is going to happen on July 24th through August 1st. And we have the whole trip kind of pre-planned on here. I'll just kind of walk you through a little synopsis of it. Experience the natural wonders of Alaska on this epic photographic journey. Join professional wildlife photographer Jennifer Lee Warner, that's me, and wildlife conservation biologist Alicia Emerson on a conservation photography adventure. Spend time in a remote lodge photographing both black bears and brown bears along the Catacall River. Travel to Prince William Sound by boat to photograph and document behavior of puffins, murres, and kittiwaks and humpback whales, and spend time photographing the world's largest population of sea otters. During this trip, you will learn how to use your photos to create conservation-focused stories and develop a conservation project to help support wildlife conservation efforts in the area and in your community. So this one is really focused on conservation storytelling. Both Alicia and I work very strongly in this field and will help you develop a conservation story. If you're just interested in seeing the wildlife and you're not a photographer, that is okay too. Everyone is welcome on this trip. So we're really looking at both black bears and brown bears, whales, puffins, otters. We're going to talk about ethical field practices, which is my specialty particularly, as well as local ecology and biodiversity of the region. We are also going to help anyone who wants to learn more about how to use your camera. So our land cost on here is $6,195 per person, and it is based on double occupancy. We do have carbon offsetting on this trip, as well as close-up wildlife and hands-on instruction. We'll also help with getting you to Alaska with Holbrook Travel is going to help you set up your flight as well. So this one is much closer to home. Again, very COVID friendly. You just have to have a negative COVID test in order to enter the state of Alaska, but you don't need one to come back. So that's always a benefit. And yeah, so you can learn all about our trip here on this site. We're going to start in Anchorage, head off to Cordova. We're going to take a flight out to the Alaska wilderness. So we're going to be on planes, on boats. We're going to be traveling on land, hiking. It's going to be just a fantastic adventure. We're going to spend some time in Cordova, back to Alaska, and then head out on August 1st. So hopefully you can join us on this trip as well. It's going to be a really exciting adventure. We've also got on the site, it just tells you what's included, what's not included. Just gives you some information about pricing details, travel info as well, what kind of things you should prepare for, including mosquitoes and frostbite on there. Unlikely in July and August that you're going to be worrying about sub-zero temperatures, but always want to prepare yourself for, Alaska can get cold at night, so you want to make sure you are dressing in layers. And then any resources, including packing suggested lists and what to bring. So that is my trip to Alaska. I'm really excited for this trip too. I hope you are considering joining this trip as well. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or the Holbrook Travel Organization for any questions you have. All right, the next trip I have actually is sold out, but we do have a wait list. So I'm just going to go over it very briefly. So in this trip, I am partnered with the North American Nature Photographers Association to go to the Grand Teton. So this is much closer to home for many of you. And I am partnered with photographer Christina Chef, which is also a vendor and workshop leader for this bird festival as well. So we've worked closely together and are excited to offer you this trip. So If you head onto my website, you're going to see a little synopsis. And if you click on the link, it's going to bring you right here to the NAPA, or North American Nature Photographers Association's page. It is loading, so give it a second here. There it is. And as you can see, it is sold out, but you can join a wait list. Sometimes people do drop out for whatever reason. So make sure you join the wait list if that's something you're interested in. Now, this trip is in September. It is geared towards fall colors and the rut season. So that is the breeding season for, or mating season for moose and bison and elk. So you're going to see lots of wildlife activity during this time. It's September 2nd through the 5th, so a shorter time frame than the others. But the trip cost is only $495 for NAMPA members, $695 for non-members, and is taking place in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So we are going to be meeting up in Jackson. We will have presentations that both Christina and I will be giving, and then we'll head off into the national park. So this one, you won't need to have any immunizations or negative COVID tests, but we do recommend, if you aren't feeling well, that you don't, that you do not join, obviously, during these crazy times. And yeah, so our hotel is the Virginia Lodge that is in Jackson Hole. There is a group rate, so take advantage of that at $161 a night is pretty good for this time of year in Jackson. We're going to visit locations like Oxbow Bend and Elk Ranch Flats, String Lake, Moore Monroe, and many more locations. I don't divulge all of the secret locations that I have for photographing wildlife, but you are most likely going to see elk, bison, pronghorn, maybe even grizzly bears, most likely black bears. We might find fox, we might find coyotes. Every now and again, if you're very lucky, you could see a wolf or mountain lion, unlikely, but always a possibility, or even other animals like bald eagles, osprey, mountain bluebirds. There's so much wildlife potential in that area. So you're going to see an itinerary on there as well, and then you can join the wait list. Now, we are an authorized permittee of the National Park Services, so not anyone can just have a workshop. So we do have that permission to hold this workshop in the national park. So that's always really important. So check that out. Join the wait list if you're interested. And if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to me or Christina as well. All right. The next workshop that I have so many and I'm really excited. This one is in 2022. So if you are looking to maybe push out your travel until next year, totally understand. And next year we're headed to the Galapagos. I was so lucky to get to go there in 2019. And I did go with Holbrook Travel and got to see a lot of the locations that we're going. And this area is just chock full of unique biodiversity that you're not going to see anywhere else in the world. So I have lots of spots available on this one. You can see a synopsis on my website, but if you want to click on the link, it'll take you to the Holbrook website as well. This one is going to be in May 12th, 2022 through May 19th of 2022. And my trip is a little unique. Most photographers who take people out to the Galapagos, they spend majority of their time on boats. And although we do go on a boat so that we can see different islands, you're going to be staying on land the entire time. So you're going to spend the night on land and then you're going to go on these day trips. The reason that I planned it this way is I get terribly seasick. I was miserable for a lot of that because I was so seasick. And I wanted to be sensitive to other people who have that problem too. So unlike other tours where you're going to be spending a lot of time on a boat, this one you're going to have that opportunity to rest on land. And if you're like me, you get seasick, this is the trip for you. It's also something that's going to be a little different than what other people are seeing. And I'm really excited to be able to offer that. So just to give you a little overview, The Galapagos Islands offers incredible opportunities for nature photographers, from up-close encounters with curious wildlife to endemic flora and unusual landscapes. Join professional wildlife photographer Jennifer Lee Warner, again that's me, for a photographic adventure exploring the Galapagos Islands by both land and sea, which will provide you with a variety of rare photographic opportunities. Seek out Galapagos giant tortoises traversing the highlands or resting in pools or in ponds. Photograph land iguanas basking in the sun, and search out avifauna, including blue-footed boobies and Darwin finches. You will also get the opportunity to try out underwater photography and photograph sea turtles and sea lions in the water. With no fear of human predation, many creatures can be approached up close without wildlife disturbance, making for a once-in-a-lifetime photography adventure. I'm really particularly excited about the underwater photography. I've been, forgive the pun, I've been diving into underwater photography now for the last few years, and Galapagos was one of the best places to do this because the sea lions particularly, they are very curious of people. They will swim right up to you, and you're going to see sea turtles and lots of beautiful fish, underwater and coral, and we're going to spend some time doing underwater photography. So very exciting. So the trip is $6,355 per person, and that is land cost. So you will need to get to Ecuador, which we will help set you up with that as well. We do have carbon offsetting on this trip, up close wildlife, as well as expert guides while we're there. So very excited about this trip. You're going to see on here, we're not going to just spend time in the Galapagos, but we're also going to visit a rainforest in Ecuador, which I'm really, really excited about that too. So we do fly into Quito International Airport, and we do spend a night going to the cloud forest in Ecuador, where you're going to see approximately 200 species of native orchids in the area of 2,300 square feet. And you're going to see lots and lots of wildlife in that Ecuadorian cloud forest as well. We do go into Santa Cruz Island. There's so much potential on that island, particularly it's such a beautiful place. And then we do fly out of Guayaquil, which is the other major city in Ecuador. So another fantastic trip. Everything's included except for the international flight to into Quito and out of Guayaquil. So, but we'll help you set up that as well. So on the site is going to tell you what's included, what's not included, as well as travel information, immunizations that you're going to need for that, as well as other resources about the Galapagos, what to bring, information like that. So hopefully you can join us on this trip as well. And if you have any questions, please reach out. I am just really excited to be sharing all these very interesting places with you. All right, so the last tour that I have, this one is still in the works, but I wanted you to be the first ones to learn about it. So I have been really working on trying to find closer to home opportunities as well. And I found a very unique, beautiful place close to home that will be set up in the winter of 2022. And that is into the wilds of Florida. So Florida has some of the most unique birding opportunities in the country, particularly shorebirds. I've spent years documenting these bird species, and we're going to be spending time particularly in the west coast of Florida and down into like the Everglades. So date is still to be determined, as well as cost. The cost on this is going to be much more affordable than some of the international trips. But just to give you a little bit of a sneak peek. So Florida wilderness offers most visitors excitement and serenity in equal measure. The thrill of spotting a surface manatee or swooping heron is set against the gentle sound of waves lapping at shorelines, sawgrass rustling in the breeze, and sunshine dappling through old-growth cypress canopies. Soak up with these experiences as you journey from Florida's Gulf Coast down to the crown jewel of its natural kingdom, Everglades National Park. You'll enjoy beachfront accommodations, excursions by boat to look for marine and bird life, hiking trails through oak hammock, cypress forest, and of course, classic Florida swamp. Along the way, we'll meet with organizations and individuals serving as stewards of the land, from wildlife rehabilitation to sea turtle and coral research and other preservation of biological wealth at this federally protected Everglades. So isn't that exciting? We'll also spend some time behind the scenes at the Florida Aquarium, explore Everglades National Park, and learn about the ecological importance of the sprawling wetlands and the 9 living ecosystems. We're going to canoe around coastal mangroves islands at dawn and hope for spotting manatees, river otters, and bottlenose dolphins. We're going to seek out signature Florida avifauna like wood storks, roseate spoonbills, herons, ibis, and Florida birdwing owls, and take a private tour of this preserve and gardens of a patch of heaven sanctuary and learn about ongoing conservation initiatives. So I'm super excited about this trip. Information is still being put together, but if you want to be on this list, because it is small group opportunities, please reach out to me so I can make sure that you are the first to join this trip that's going to be happening in the winter of 2022. All right, so those are the photo tours that I have available. I have one other very exciting thing to talk to you about, and that is I have an online workshop community that is completely and 100% free to join. You can go right here under events tabs to online workshops. And when you click on here, it's going to take you to the community. Now you do need to register to the community. It doesn't cost anything. It just creates you a profile. And then you can be part of this network. Now this network has tons of other people who are interested in photography, and you can share your experiences, find people to travel with, all sorts of things. The other thing that I have available on here, you go through the tabs here, workshops, and these are a la carte. Some are free, some have a low cost to join, and these are workshops that you can learn about all sorts of different types of photography things. So anywhere from how do you learn money to fund a photo project, that's a free workshop that's available. Lions, tigers, bears, and cheetahs is another free one. Also information about those photo tours I have available. And then some pre-recorded workshops. So intro to night photography, landscape photography, how to photograph birds in flight, preparing for a trip to Grand Tetons, how to grow social media, how to create an online art store. So let's take a behind the scenes peek at what you would see on one of these pre-recorded workshops. So this workshop is only $19. You click on it, it's going to take you to this page. It has a pre-recorded presentation right here, so you can watch the presentation. And then it'll click you through some tips for how to photograph birds in flight, an ethical bird photography guide, and much more. So you can ask questions, view the material. Each different workshop has different things to learn. This is night photography. This is giving you information about different apps you can use to photograph at night, the presentation, inspiration for night photography. So here is a PDF, just kind of giving you a sneak peek behind the curtain here. So it'll show you some different photographs that were made and settings that were used to create these different night photography images. So, and much, much more. So hopefully you'll join this. This is experiencewildlifeworkshops.com. Like I said, it's free to join the community. We also do, I do little creativity exercises. So this month was Valentine's Day, so you are sharing pictures of some sort of Valentine theme image. We've got other people, their images here. You can see what they've added. So this is just fun opportunities. We're going to have lots more group activities such as group critiques and some jam sessions and things like that. So I hope you'll join if you want to learn more about that. Again, experiencewildlifeworkshops.com, completely free to join, and you can be part of our growing community. So I also take guest teachers. So if this is something that you have a topic about that you want to share, you want to earn some money, please let me know. And I am always eager to have guest speakers teach workshops within my community as well. All right, so we are back to my website, and so lots of other things on here too. Feel free to browse, see some of the information I have on here, including a newsletter sign up, a ongoing blog that I run, and work with conservation projects and different organizations that I partner with, including Cheetah Conservation Fund, Girls Who Click, North American Nature Photographers Association, Projects for Wildlife, and Shoot 'em with a Camera. So I am really glad that you made it through this presentation. I hope you learned a lot, and I am always eager to share my photography knowledge with you. And I hope you are enjoying the festival. So please feel free to reach out. There is a chat feature on my individual booth, as well as I'm going to be going live on that channel as well throughout the festival. So check out the schedule, take advantage of the coupon code SDBirds21 if you want 30% off of a print, whether that is print only, canvas, metal, or framed. So I will hopefully see you guys around, and feel free to reach out and say hi. All right. Thanks for watching.